Okay, Mr. White, glad to see you this evening.
Good to see you.
We're going to go ahead and get started. The last time you was here, we discussed how everything was going well with you and your family, and you know, how everything was going on your job, and you know, everything was okay. What brings you in this evening?
I had a situation the other day with DirecTV, and you know how I feel about customer service. So what happened was, we've been paying way too much on our cable bill, and I was just calling to see what the possibility of us getting the bill reduced was. And I know it sounds terrible, but immediately once I heard that it was a foreigner, I immediately thought that I had the perspective that she wouldn't be very helpful. And I know that's terrible, but she kept trying to sell me on working out a deal with premium packages or lowering me just a little bit, and it was really frustrating because I asked for something specific and she wasn't giving me what I was asking for. She was giving me what she wanted to try to sell me and slowly bring me down.
Right.
So, I mean, that was infuriating, and I was ready to cancel the service.
Okay, so you was paying too much, and you called her and tried to get the situation handled, but you felt like from her not being in state, you felt like she couldn't help you with with your current situation.
Yeah, but my experience with a lot of customer service over the phone is that a lot of it is outsourced, and they're reading the script. They're not really having a one-to-one conversation. They're just trying to find what you're saying on this page and then read it back to you, and it sounds really scripted, and it's just impersonal and cold, and they're not really trying to meet your needs. It works for some people, it doesn't work for me.
Okay. When you go to someone for help and they don't listen to you, you feel ignored, and you feel like that your voice is landing on deaf ears. Is that correct?
Yeah, especially in that situation, because it was not at all what I was asking for, what she was giving me back. So the communication was terrible.
Right. Weeks ago, you mentioned about the dry cleaning situation. Can you go into details about that? Help me understand what happened?
Well, when I get the call and say, well, first I got the call that says that the suit was delayed. It wasn't going to be there the day that they said it was going to be there. Well, when we get there, the lady that I had spoken with many times before, she immediately knew who I was, and she knew what my clothes were and where they were. And when she went and got them, she didn't look at it. She didn't look to see if anything was wrong. Well, something told me to look at the suit. And when I did, I saw all kinds of stains up and down the arm. And I flipped out. I flipped out. I was just irate almost. I was a little bit controlled, but irate.
Wow, I bet that was very aggravating.
It was more than aggravating.
Especially 2 days or a couple of days before the wedding.
Yeah.
Yes. During that time, did you ever feel like you was not able to control your frustration?
Yes. Especially when I looked at the shirt and found out that the shirt was still messed up. Or was also messed up. Not still messed up. Also messed up. And at that time I had to walk away. And when I walked out, I just flung the door open really hard. And the door kind of smacked up against the panel, the frame.
Right.
And I walked out and walked around outside for a little bit and calmed down and walked back in.
I see. Mr. White, you mentioned flipped out.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
Everything just kind of piled up, and it seemed like the lady who was on the customer service call did not understand what I meant when I said, this is the $800 suit. To me, $800 suit is a lot of money.
Right.
She kept telling me that, oh, we've done $800 ties. Well, my concern was she didn't treat my $800 suit with the same care as she did with the $800 tie.
Absolutely.
They were just really careless with it.
So with the phone call, the phone call and then this customer service here, this kind of tainted your perspective of how all customer service are, or can you clear that up for me?
It just seemed like there is always a disconnect. On the phone, people don't give you the benefit. Well, people don't have the benefit of knowing you to have a personal relationship.
Right. Okay. Well, there is no guarantee with if you're going to have good customer service or bad customer service. With the bad customer service, you can do certain methods to kind of help you get through that situation. You can do like a breathing. You can calm your breathing, which can calm your heart rate, which can slow your thinking and kind of calm the situation.
I definitely need to work on that, because I think with the DirecTV thing, like I snapped and I was ready to disconnect that service after this lady came back with another deal. When I knew what the price was and she was quoting me a different price, I knew she was adding something in there. I just kind of flipped out, and I did not want to have anything else to do with them. But
So you think she was just trying to sell you something and not really hearing what you had to say, right?
Exactly.
Okay. You said that you remain calm in the situation, but yet you damaged the door at the dry cleaner. How do you think you could have handled that a little bit better?
Well, I think the whole situation, it was a lot, and the build up to get to where we were just kind of overflowed. And I think if I had had, my wife is my support system, and I know that she is probably not as angry as I am, so she can usually grab me or just intervene before. So I think a lot of times I could just have her there and we'd be good, or I would be good.
Okay.
I'd be better. Can't say that it would be the complete solution, because sometimes just...
But it'll be the basic. So look like to me that you have the basic of how you want to control your how your feelings when you feel yourself escalating, and that it seems that you have a good support system at home, which is your wife. And I think that you two can continue to set goals and try to figure out a way that will work best for your situation. Okay. I thank you for coming in tonight.
Thank you.
And I'll see you next week.
Okay.